Good morning, everybody in YouTube land. It's been a while. I've been so busy. I've been working on bowls and basically learning how to make them in better ways. Behind me here is a bunch of wood that I've been using, and the problems I've run into. This one here, I cut with my chainsaw. This little gem is my newest splurge. It's a little 14-inch electric chainsaw because my friend had been bringing me these logs that are roughly 5 inches in diameter and maybe 4 or 5 feet. There's one out in the yard that's a good 6-7 feet long, maple. But I had no way to cut them other than a handsaw, and it's just too much for me. So then I thought, well, how am I going to hold the log still while I'm cutting it? And there was a 50-pound bag of kitty litter that I hoisted up there, and I've already cut. There's 3 of them right there. And it's maple. This is all maple. I cut it. I wasn't really paying attention. I was so excited about the chainsaw cutting through the little log so nice that I didn't pay attention, and I cut the end of it on a wicked slant. And getting that slant off the end was an effort, let me tell you. I worked on it for 3 days. Last night alone, over two and a half hours I worked on it before I finally got it to where it looks like right now. Is this a normal looking bottom? What could be a bottom, I mean. And then, of course, there's the cracks, which is the other thing I've been dealing with. I was working on this bowl. This is that black walnut, and it's got cracks everywhere. But I've been turning it, putting super glue in it. It is really hard. But these are all pieces of wood that I cut from branches, logs that I had. And then, and as I work on them, here's another one. This is maple. Was working on it, set it down overnight, and the next day I picked it up, and there's some nice cracks in it. So there I am with the super glue again. So also, the other thing I've been doing, watching a lot of videos on how to sharpen tools. This is my bowl gouge, and I sharpened it yesterday. I think I did a pretty darn good job for half half blind. And I'm sure the camera's not gonna show it very well. There we go, maybe, no. But I did a pretty good job. It's working better. I watch these videos, and these people are like making bowls, and they'll take a bowl gouge and it looks like in minutes. The big bowl, I was gonna say big ass, is gouged out, and it's all a nice big bowl, while I'm working for hours just to get that little indent of a bowl. Like that little tiny indent, probably I was at it for probably over 2 hours trying to get that. And then I realized they have different wood than I do. And there's actually different bowl gouges, which I also was unaware of. But in the meantime, that's what I've been doing. I've been kind of trying to learn how to fix what's wrong with the bowls. Because nobody's teaching me. I just watch videos, and I watch more videos. You can't watch only one. You have to watch more than one. Plus, there's been so much going on in my own life I wanted to talk about. So let's get into that. So 10 years ago, well, over 10 years ago, more like 13, I discovered a lump in my neck. And at the time, it was about the size of a quarter. And I had gone to the doctor, and they were in the process of checking out what it could be when I was in a car accident. And the car accident took precedent over this little lump that I had found in my neck. And I never did go and get it an MRI or anything. I forgot about it because the car accident, like I said, was quite severe, and that occupied me for quite some time. Years went by. I still forgot about this little lump in my neck. It didn't bother me. It was just something I didn't think about. But in the past 2 years, it began to grow. And to the part where it's so big that it's really starting to seriously bother me now. And it's right here. It's quite large. Let's try and do this. I try to do this backwards. You see it? It's up on my ear. And it comes all the way down to here. There, now you can see I'm moving it with my finger. So yeah, it shoots pain. It'll shoot pain up and around my eye. It shoots pain down the side of my neck. And some days it makes me very nauseous. It's pushing against my jaw too. So anyway, I had gone to my primary and said to him, we got to do something about this. So he said, well, first things first, let's get an ultrasound and see if we can figure out what it is. So I went and got the ultrasound done. And the results came back that it was either a lymph node or a tumor. Now, originally, they thought it was a swollen parotid gland. And apparently, that is not what it is. So then, my primary said, well, you need to go to an ear, nose, and throat guy and let them handle this because this is something that appears to be serious and we want them to deal with it. So I make the appointment for the specialist. Go in to see the specialist, and he says a few things of what he thinks it could be. One is a tumor called a Warthin's tumor, which is a common tumor for smokers. So he said to me, how long ago did I quit smoking? He said, I see you're a former smoker. I said, it's been 11 years, but I smoked for over 38, and then I quit, and it's been 11 years. He said, well, I don't think it's a Warthin's tumor then. He thinks that it more likely that is a active smoker tumor. And when I quit 11 years ago, I have never touched a cigarette since. Then he said he thinks it could be a inflamed lymph node, and it could be a tumor. So let's get a MRI. Let's see what it really is. So I went and got the MRI done. And with that, you have to also get blood work. And I had the MRI with contrast, without contrast. And the guy, radiologist who read it, said, lo and behold, he believes it's a Warthin's tumor, which is usually a benign, meaning not cancer, tumor. However, the size of it is pretty impressive. Everybody's kind of blown away by how big this thing is. I was online looking, and the way they do the surgery, I'll just do this. They cut right here at the top of the earlobe, and they go around the ear, go around the back of this thing like that, and then pull the skin over and then remove it, I guess. And he said it has to be done out in Buffalo, which I work at a hospital, but it's a small hospital, and he said I don't really do surgeries there. I do my surgery out at Sisters. It's a much bigger hospital. He said this is no small thing. It's a big deal. And he said prepare for a 3 to 5 day stay at the hospital after surgery. And then I'd be, that takes up about a week almost. And then to be prepared for an additional at least 2 weeks out of work. So a span of not working for 3 weeks. So I haven't scheduled it yet. I said I wanted to wait until winter was over because I don't want to have to plan for a surgery, have my family, try to head out to Buffalo and then get one of those stupid storms that we've been having, zero visibility and a foot of snow or something. So I'm going to wait on the surgery, but that's been going on, and it's been the process of a couple of months between the start of talking to my primary and then coming to what we think is the diagnosis of a Warthin's tumor. So that's that. The other thing is, and then today is Friday. It's March 4th. Monday, I got a phone call that my father couldn't get my mother out of bed. And, of course, it's my worst fear. She's 94. Long story short, he called the ambulance. Ambulance came, got my mother, took her to the hospital where I work. And my sister-in-law had called me and told me about it. And I actually got to the hospital before the ambulance did. And my mother's having, confusion these days, or for years. It's just getting a lot worse. But anyway, long story short on this, it turns out she's in kidney failure. She got admitted to the hospital. We wanted her to stay local so my father would be able to see her. And she's been in the hospital, I think it was Monday. And
her they rehydrated her, and they told us it could go either way. Either her kidneys will bounce back once they rehydrate her, or they won't, because she's 94-year-old kidneys, and they're just, it's been too hard on them, and they won't come back, and we're looking at losing her. Well, thank God for a lot of prayers by everybody. She's supposed to be coming home today. Her kidneys woke back up after they rehydrated her, and she bounced back, and she's a tough 94-year-old, let me tell you. So, like I said, my father is extremely happy. She's supposed to be coming home today. He's going to go get her, and that's that story. I put pictures of my bowls up on Facebook, and my friends that watched my pictures, and they were like, "Oh, that's so awesome! You know, you should do classes on teaching people how to do that." Well, first of all, everybody that I taught would have to have a lathe, and I don't really know anybody besides me who has one. I can't teach anything because I'm in the process of learning. Even learning how to sharpen the tools, I watched a bunch of videos, and of course, there's people that use jigs and people that made homemade jigs, and then there was a bunch of people who just said, you know, you just eyeball it, put it up on the belt sander, and do the best you can. And so that's what I did. And it's kind of like knife sharpening. You know when it's sharp, you know when it's not. And then what to do when you can't get just the cut that you want, or when you are going along and all of a sudden it hits an imperfection in the wood, and there's just so many things. What speed do I have the lathe on? What angle do I hold the gouge at? There's a lot of different things that I've been learning, and you can't teach those things while you're learning them. So one other thing that came up when they talk about all these bowls is everybody loves them, and the first thing that they say is, do you sell them? No, I don't sell them. I've only given one of them away, and it was to my good friend Silver Vessel that I've met here on YouTube. So I have, there's 8 bowls up there now, which means I had 9, and he has the one of them. And then I have 3 more in the garage right now that I'm in the process. I work on one, take it off, work on another. Somebody gave me a great idea. They said, why don't you make them into little planters? And I was like, oh, the little light bulb went on. What a great idea. So then I started looking for air plants. And they make a lot of them. They make air plants that are green and turn to red. And then you basically just get sort of like a peat moss type thing, and you put that in the bowl, and then you just throw the air plant in there, and it you know, of course, it looks like it's alive without having to have to do anything with it. So they sell those, and they're relatively cheap. And I said, oh, I'm gonna make gifts, because it started out I wanted to get something for my sister because she doesn't really have anything I make. So I was gonna make. That's why I have those 3 in the garage. I was thinking of making a set of 3 that would go on a little stand, and each one would have like a little air plant in it because she kills plants, and it would be something she could have that would be alive that she can't kill it. So that's the idea that's in my head for that. Then there's the thing I've been working on for my son for his birthday. I started working on the part that I could make, but there was something that went to... See, he watches my videos, so I cannot talk about it. I have to talk in code. Another friend on YouTube has some things that he makes, and I needed something that he made to go with the part that I was making so I could make this gift for my son for his birthday. And it's been a lot harder to make than I thought it would be, but I can sort of see the light at the end of the tunnel now, and it probably be another 2 weeks before it's done, because I work, and I work 12-hour shifts, and when I come home, like for instance yesterday morning, I came home from work, and I try to stay up, but by 10 o'clock I was sitting here, you know, in front of the computer trying to get things done, and I was falling asleep. So I go to bed, try to sleep, but because it's daytime, you don't sleep normal. So I pushed myself, and I managed to stay in bed for 4 hours. And then, of course, you get up, shower, get dressed, get stuff ready for work, and then I go to work and back to work, and it's 12 hours at work. So yesterday's day off, I didn't get a lot done. I ended up, and then we wake up after 4 hours. It's like, it's not a normal sleep. You're still foggy, and it takes another couple hours to sort of shake off being kind of out of it. So then last night, I think it was 8 o'clock by the time I went out in the garage to work on the bowl, and I worked on that one bowl, just 2.5 hours for that one bowl. And like I said, I'll show you here. It had a funny shape to it. And the best way I can describe it was like that. I wasn't paying attention and I cut it at so much of an angle, and what I needed was that. I needed it to be that end smooth, which is what I showed you. I showed you the bowl out there that I ended up. So to take that entire piece off took quite a while. I suppose some people could have had like some kind of a saw maybe that they could have cut that off with. I don't have a saw that does that, so I ended up just having to do it with a bowl gouge and a couple other tools. But I ended up fixing it, and I got it going. Now all three of those bowls need the inside removed, and then I'll go back onto the outside and work on the shape of the outside again. And then of course there's my son's project. I ended up having fires the other day because it was finally a day where there wasn't so much wind. It wasn't below zero. It wasn't raining or sleet or whatever. And I finally I had 6 boxes of paper and stuff to go out and burn in my fire pit. So I was so happy to get that done. I save it up during the winter, and I just pile box after box until I get a chance come spring-ish to go burn it, which is what I did. And while I was out there, what did I see? A robin. Now, yes, I know they don't always hibernate. For me, and all the years that I've lived here, the robins go away in spring. Go away in summer, fall, and they don't come back again until spring. And I've seen them as early as, now my brother-in-law's birthday is March 11th. I've seen them as early as March 11th, 1 or 2 times in all the years I've been here. But I've never seen one on March 3rd or 2nd, and I saw one in my yard on March 2nd. And I took a picture of a little critter running around. So the robins are here. They've decided to pop out of wherever they're at, and I saw them. So that makes me happy because I'm sick of winter, as everybody is here. And then comes spring, which hopefully we'll have a lovely spring with no further incidences flooding, because I have so much debris and things to fix in my yard from the last several floods that we had. So that's what's going on. Let me get back to put this video together, which also takes hours because I take all the videos and the pictures and I put them in a folder on my computer, and then I have to go through and put them in the order that they were shot in or whatever, and then I have to put them on my software, which is Wondershare, and then I have to go through and trim down the videos and make sure the pictures are not the fuzzy ones, and then I have to put them in order and decide, do I talk over them? Do I just show you the pictures? Can I speed up the videos? And it takes hours. And so that's where I'm at. I'm going to throw up this video, and it's the bowl video, which, of course, all my videos never have just one topic. It's multiple topics. So for those of you who hate long videos, I am sorry. I should put up a preface. I probably will. I'll put up a preference thing saying, if you don't like long videos, don't watch this. But if you like long videos and you like watching me, not just my grandkids and maybe 1 or 2 people on YouTube, I don't know, then I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching.